Biointensive mini farming is small-scale agriculture. It's a closed loop system and a means whereby you grow your own compost to fertilize your soil and put back nutrients into the soil. If you start with a basic bed, let's say 9 square meters of soil, you would double dig it, what we call double digging. So you dig it with a spade and then aerate the soil with a fork so that the roots can get down there, air and water into the soil. Well, this is aimed at every single South African citizen because it involves recycling. So all our kitchen waste we could recycle and put into the compost heap or feed it to our worms in our vermiculture farm and then put that back into the soil. If we think about this way of farming biointensively and you ask yourself, well, what is so different from conventional farming? Well, the reality is there's no pollution. You're not polluting the soil, you're not polluting the water source, and you're not polluting the atmosphere. You're saving water. In fact, there's up to 50% water saving, and in a water scarce country such as ours, obviously this would be of value to farmers. Well, at the moment I'm promoting it on a small scale to aspirant farmers and emerging farmers. All over the country I speak to people who've received land from government, but who don't know what to do with the land, who would love to farm but don't have the money to farm. That's one challenge. And it's these people that I want to reach. Well, for me, what would be wonderful is to have throughout the country almost like a patchwork quilt of small-scale farmers with between 5 and 30 hectares with biodiverse agriculture, not just this monocropping of a single crop with fertilizers. If I won the R1 million from the South African Breweries Innovation Fund, the first thing I would do was ramp up the model. I'm a mini farmer, backyard farmer, but I would want to take this into a larger space, perhaps a 15-hectare farm, and I would then apply the funds to building up that farm, also producing educational material, but not only in English, translating that into vernacular languages. And then spreading the word that way, and then obviously building up an educational center where I could bring farmers to the farm. They could live on the farm and work there for perhaps 6 weeks at a time in the spring or the summer and help them to appreciate the system. This is what I've produced in 9 square meters. Biointensive farming definitely has to be the way to go for South African farmers. On a small scale we could do this in our backyards, but on an even grander scale, on mini-scale farms around the country, we could save 50% in water in a water-scarce country such as South Africa is. What a wonderful boon. We could save on fertilizer costs and we could save on energy costs. When you look at small-scale biointensive mini-farms in a patchwork quilt throughout the countryside, we think of social cohesion, so it's socially sustainable. It's also environmentally sustainable because we're not polluting the soil and the water and the atmosphere. And it's also financially sustainable.